And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Emmaus Athletic Podcast in the Nest. I'm your co-host, Shane Douglas, here with a fellow Swiftie, Matthew Thomason.
Shane, we're back.
Matt's just found out before we started recording that Matt is a massive Swiftie. Huge Taylor Swift fan over here to my left. You don't know what to say. That's awesome.
Whatever. Not really. I like her older stuff, but
that's not what you were saying earlier. You're singing her. You're dancing, but so if you see Matt,
for those wondering, the only comment I made was Shane has this whiteboard, and I said, "Oh, that's like from the Love Story music video." And now I'm
he's a Swiftie, a
bigger Swiftie than Megan and Becca combined. So
yeah, those are some coworkers. Megan is a assistant volleyball coach, and they love Taylor Swift, just like Matt. You can't believe you spent like $2,000 on a Taylor Swift concert ticket.
No, I'm not Coach Rasmussen's sister.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
With that said, I do like Taylor Swift's new album. It's all right. Was it Midnight something? I don't know. Lavender.
Sure.
I don't know. I do enjoy Taylor Swift sometimes, but I'm not a Swiftie. I'll tell you that much. I would spend like a lot of money on a football ticket, like going to an NFL football game.
I mean, I feel like obviously everyone's different, but going to a professional sports game, I'd rather spend a lot of money on than
you're a
going
fan.
to a concert.
You would spend more money on a concert?
No.
See, that's
on a
the thing.
Game.
Is that there's people who would spend more money on a concert.
Well, I've never been to a football
so
game.
Here's the question I like to ask:
NFL,
is like, would you spend $500 on a Cowboys ticket?
No. It's a lot of money.
Okay, 400, 300.
It's a lot of money.
Okay, 300.
No.
I'll use me. I would spend $500 on a Chargers ticket, even though we had a terrible game Sunday. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. You guys, Cowboys blew out the Giants, that's for sure. But I like to like level the fanhood. I guess no offense to you, Cowboys, but I mean, I guess you guys have like had no hope in the past like 20 decades. But yeah, you're a Cowboys fan too, Will. Either way, man, surrounded. I would spend money on a Chargers ticket, and that makes me a huge fan. Well, I would not for a Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make me. So that makes me not a Swiftie. I'm not a Swiftie.
I probably would, but since
fair.
I have a family,
that's fair. I have no responsibility.
I feel very guilty about doing that.
I get that. You have a responsibility. You have a wife that will kill.
Would I
you.
want to? Sure, but nah.
I like that. See, there you go. That's what I wanted. But for Taylor Swift, it's different. It's like you ask the Swifties, would you spend the X money? They're like, yes,
whatever 100%. It takes.
Exactly.
Whatever it takes.
I know someone that took a loan out. Moving on. Speaking of the NFL,
we'll have to talk to Will about editing this part out.
Maybe, I don't know. But speaking of the NFL, you mentioned before we got in here, Aaron Rodgers. That sucks.
Tearing his Achilles.
That sucks.
4 snaps into the game
for
yesterday.
You sports. Yeah, for you sports fans, Aaron Rodgers. Just recently was traded from the Green Bay Packers, the team that drafted him, to the New York Jets this offseason. I watched Hard Knocks. They were huge in the media. Everyone was covering them, and they honestly looked good. A lot of expectations for that Jets team.
I mean, when have you seen an injury for someone that was going to another team that had so much hype, and then just like
exactly
like people were going as far as saying Jets to the Super Bowl.
Honestly,
it's like
yeah.
They might not win a game now because of it.
Yeah, I think they would have made a playoff run for sure. But you look at their division.
There's too much depth in the AFC.
I know, especially in their division in the East with the Bills and the
Even
Dolphins.
Though they beat them in overtime.
I know. The Bills did not look good at all. It was really honestly. There's a lot of teams that looked terrible this season. I mean, the first week.
I mean, it is week 1, but also it was week 1, and
yeah.
Some people, yeah.
I mean, I honestly think I am a little biased, or you guess I don't think I'm as biased as you would think because I'm a Chargers fan, but I think the Dolphins are extremely overrated. I will say that.
Really?
Our defense we didn't have a defense out there. Literally, it was just Tyreek lobbing it to.
I mean, 210.
All the Dolphins do are run slants. That's literally all they have to do with Tyreek Hill. He's the fastest receiver in the league. He runs a slant, can't cover him, especially if you're playing man, and the Chargers were they were fools just playing man against him. So I'll just say that. with that said, sucks for Aaron Rodgers. The Jets will now, within the trade package, they'll send a second-round pick.
Because Rodgers had to play over 70% of the Jets snaps for the Packers to get a first-round pick.
Yep. So now Jets save a first-round pick, but also most likely lose out on the season.
Achilles rupture. They said it was a full Achilles tear.
It sucks.
Rupture. And that is the hardest injury to come back from. And what, A-Rod is 39?
Yeah.
38?
No, he's 39.
He's 39, and
yeah, it's tough.
That could be his career ending injury.
It could be. That would really
But also,
suck.
Kobe tore his Achilles later on in his career, and he came back. So
in the medical field, medicine and everything has gotten better over the years.
Yeah,
but with that said, with Emmaus Sports, we haven't had a lot of...
back to why we're actually here.
Exactly. And a lot of you don't care about the Packers, don't care about the Jets, and definitely don't care about Aaron Rodgers.
I don't care about the Packers, but...
I could care less
I'm
about...
gonna get stoned now.
I don't like the Packers either. I honestly I didn't like the Packers when I was a kid because they beat my Pee Wee football team in the championship, the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I hate the Packers now. Then, whatever. Got to Emmaus. Tons of Packers fans that didn't know anything about football, but always would talk smack. And I'm like, so didn't like the Packers anyways. Moving on from the NFL and professional sports that don't matter here in this room that we are recording, and to you listeners, no injuries or nothing too serious for this season, which is great for the Emmaus Athletics, which is also uncharacteristic as we've had a lot of injuries in the past.
Praise the Lord for our trainer, Mrs. Iverson, and our strength and conditioning coach, Coach Richter.
I love Mrs. Iverson. She is awesome. She actually is my MVP of this past. We weren't going to get into this. She is my Eagle Impact Performer of the Week because if you saw her out there on the soccer field, oh my gosh, every second, every minute she was running out there fixing someone on Crown or Emmaus, mostly Crown, because they were dropping.
That game was so physical.
It was.
But we'll get to that.
Ooh, that was actually an insane game. And we might as well talk about it now. Let's highlight it.
Let's talk about soccer. We played the Crown College, the number 2 team in the country. And Shane, what happened?
We lost 4-3.
We lost by 1 goal to the number 2 team in the nation.
Yes.
Dang.
And so there's a couple points that I have to take away from this game, of course. And one of them, yes, that first point that you just made, we lost by 1 goal. A loss. Loss is a loss, no matter what. If you're a soccer player coming off that field, and I can speak for these guys, none of them were happy. None of them were. Why would you be happy?
To lose.
You lost. Yeah, you can sit there all day or huddle up and say, hey, we lost by 1 to the number 2 team. You still lost.
Right.
And it sucks. And I'm not trying to throw shade or anything.
But at the same time.
Yeah, you watched the game, and no offense to our guys and what I said prior, but there was definitely a skill gap.
Well, like we said last week in the podcast, look, this game was going to really be a self-reflection of where we were and where we need to be to.
And that's one of the encouraging things is seeing that what I thought, and maybe some other people thought as well, that there is a larger gap between where we are now, where we need to be competing on a national skill level, not as far as I thought, which is super encouraging.
Super exciting.
Encouraging to you boys out there, or to you listeners, sons or friends. The team is good. The team is better than we thought. Better,
and especially coming responding this way from the bad loss they had against Spurgeon last Wednesday to where
heartbreaking,
where they came.
Heartbreaking.
And, like you said, it's very encouraging to see that response and only losing by 1 goal to Crown, the number like I keep saying, the number 2 ranked team in the nation. Especially
only having a couple days of rest, bouncing back with what those guys did and how they were able to fight through the physical game, the skill of the other opponent. They honestly, Crown possessed the ball more than we did. They controlled the entire game, and the way our defense fought, yes, they were gassed at the end of it, but the coaches made some changes, or it might have been the captains. I didn't really look into that much, but they moved Josh Matt from a defensive back, center back, to the midfield and swapped him with Caleb Hunter. So, I don't know. Does that make sense? Yeah, so 2 people.
Yes, it does.
2 players swapped, and I can show you an outline later. But which that honestly helped a quite a bit.
Well, it's Josh going back to his natural position.
Yeah. Well, actually,
So,
Josh's natural position
is the 10, but he was playing the 8. So
Josh's natural position is defense. Before Emmaus, at Emmaus, it has been the midfield.
One of our best.
It's true. But like we were saying, encouraging game through it all of just not of knowing how far we are away from competing on that level of national play.
And it was really good for them to know, like you said earlier, like the physicality of this game.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Like what? There were 5 yellow cards and a red card handed out. Like it was like, it's a good reminder of like, to be the best of the best, we have to be the more physical team. Like not like bad physical, like where we're just out of control, knocking people over, but like fighting for loose balls or the 50-50s or.
Yeah, we don't go for the 50-50s much, which is something I already know the players, the coaches have been preaching on. But exactly what you said there. Yeah, it was a very physical game. I believe we only had 2 yellow cards. They had 3 yellow cards, and there was a red card given. And this is where I don't want to get negative, but this is a negative aspect of the score line. You look at the score, like you said at the beginning, we lost by 1. We scored 3 goals. 2 of the 3 goals were PKs.
Yeah.
Also, 3 of their 4 goals were scored with 10 players on the field.
Yeah, because when you get a red card, you're down a player for the rest of the game.
Crown played majority of that match with 10 players. Starting goalie out because he kicked Christian's legs out. Did not seem intentional. Just playing the game.
Well, I heard what it was is because it was 1-on-1. So it's kind of like in basketball. There's like the open, like basically the open field foul where if it's you and a defender and the offensive player is ahead of you and you foul them, it's a technical foul. You get a free throw and then the ball back.
Yeah.
I was talking to Coach Rasmussen. He said because it was 1-on-1 and Christian was a little bit ahead of the goalie and the goalie tripped him, it's an automatic red card for anyone.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it sucks because we don't have film from the game because the internet went down and the power went down all at the same time. We didn't have an issue last year, and I apologize to all you viewers. I know
don't know what happened.
I know Tucker's parents were watching. I know Josh Matt's family were having a watch party.
Yeah.
So we apologize. That is a mistake on our part. We have a couple more weeks to.
We'll have the athletic department and the IT department figure it out.
Yeah,
so,
things will be situated. If it's next game or a game after that, we will get it.
Next game.
That's your guarantee?
That's sure. Write that down, my guarantee.
Matt's
shouldn't be a guarantee. But
here are my guarantees.
Shane is 1-0 in his guarantees this year.
And then Matt just had a guarantee. We'll get him a whiteboard.
We'll have another guarantee to share later. But
and if it goes through that, there's no IT problems within the next soccer game. But with that said, yes. So Christian was running on the left side of the field in the goalie box, just entered. As he entered it, he kicked the ball a little ahead of himself. He got past the defenders. The goalie was out, and the goalie cut him off. Mm-hmm. So Christian's running here. Goalie cut him off here.
And kicked his leg out.
Kicked his leg out, and
got a red card.
Got a red card. And Christian scored on a PK, and then he scored on the second PK. That was later in the second half that tied the game. Yeah, so it was.
But we had an opportunity with 3 minutes to go, where Edwin had a beautiful shot that was over the goalkeeper's outstretched arms, but it hit the crossbar and bounce back into play. Edwin,
one of the new freshmen coming in, who has been a positive impact for the team, especially the midfield. Who we're looking. I'm looking forward to a future with him here.
Back,
yes,
with both him, his brother Carlos is here, so seeing Carlos and Edwin, brothers out there, soon will be super exciting.
And that's what I was kind of get into within the talking about Aaron Rodgers' injury and Carlos's injury, and he's coming back soon. I have a calendar in my cubicle upstairs, and I have a little. Carlos came in there. He wrote down on the date. He said Carlos returns. So. Expecting him within not this week, but the week after, so the last weekend of September. Carlos will most likely come back. It would be awesome. He'll have limited time playing, but it's going to be great for sure. all in all, a good game against Crown. Crown, good attitudes, for sure. I don't know, most of I didn't know what they were saying on the field. I'm not a player, so, but I do know that after the game, they were very nice and kind to us around Pollard Fieldhouse as well as around the field. So, and that's the coaches know each other, as I believe
Coach McHugh. The Crown coach was Coach McHugh's assistant coach, and then the Crown assistant coach was Coach McHugh's player.
Yep, I remember
when they were all at Moody.
Yep. So connections there. They had a nice little picture that they took. I
saw that with
some of the coaches. So, but all in all, it was a good matchup with Crown. Love to continue to see where they go this season, as they're going to make a national run.
They were the regional champions last year.
Yeah. So they're not in our region anymore.
Nope.
So we won't see them probably the rest of the season unless we make it to nationals. Yep. So good luck to Crown in their national run this year, as they try to most likely play Pensacola, as they're the top dogs right now in our NCAA Division II.
With that said, the host of the national tournament.
With that said, we talked about soccer a lot.
Yeah, let me take a quick look at some stats before we move on to other sports. But with the 3-4 loss, Christian had 2 goals, and John Choima had a goal.
That was a beautiful
assist from Edwin.
Cross from Edwin. We were talking about the podcast at that time, and we saw the momentum shifting, and we looked, and then within the next 5 seconds, saw the cross, saw John wide open.
Edwin's third assist off, I think it's our third goal off a corner kick.
It was nice.
And then Tucker, if you look at the stat line, you would see that Crown had 28 shots and we had 6 shots, and you're like, oh
yeah,
the score is 3-4. Wow. Because we have Tucker Kappas, and he had 13 saves, which is his career high through 3 games, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I also want to look at some top 10 rankings in the nation real quick. So Christian, I think this is amazing. Christian is ranked 5th in the nation in shots.
Okay.
So he's taken 13 shots. But he's ranked 1st in shots on goal with 11 and 1st with goals, 6.
In less games.
So Christian is average. Well, he's number 1 overall.
Yeah. But also he has played less games than most
Number
of these
2 has played 3 games and has 5 goals. And number 3 has played 5 games and has 4 goals. So right now Christian is averaging a goal every other shot.
Dang. That's crazy, actually.
So Christian has 6 goals in 3 games, and that right now is the most since Mason McCarl in 2018.
Look at you, stat guy.
6 in 3 games.
Mason McCarl, shout out to Mason.
He had a hat trick, a brace, and a single
against
goal.
Ozark.
And then he scored the hat trick was against Nebraska Christian. No, Lincoln Christian.
For Mason?
Mason. And so then
he had 4 goals against Ozark, and this is 2018.
This is 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. And then but Christian's averaging a brace this year. So 2 against Maranatha, 2 against Spurgeon, and then 2 against Crown. So that's super exciting. Tucker right now is 4th in the nation in save percentage. He's at almost 79% save percentage, but he's number 1 overall in saves. So he has 30 saves through 3 games.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That's nice.
And then Edwin is tied for 1st in the nation in assists.
So this is awesome. That's encouraging to hear those.
Yeah. So super exciting. And so that's soccer for this week.
That's fun. Those are encouraging numbers, encouraging stat line, and an encouraging game. Looking forward to the future of our Emmaus men's soccer team. Let's look at the Emmaus women's volleyball team.
Ooh, and boy, what a weekend did our Emmaus Eagles volleyball team have.
Man, we talked way too long about soccer.
We did.
It was just they really set the mark of how far they are away from competing on a national level.
They are.
But volleyball had a great matchup this weekend against
volleyball
Spurgeon.
Went 2-0 this weekend.
Boom.
Which means that they're 3-1 overall, which is the best start that they have had since 2019.
That's
also,
nice.
With the win against Spurgeon, they won. We'll talk about the matches, but they won 3-2 against Spurgeon and then 3-1 against Moody. And that is their first home victory in 4 years. Yeah, since November 1st, 2019.
Wow, Will's getting in on this.
That was super exciting. And man, that Spurgeon game, that was such an amazing game. It was a come from behind win. They won in 5 sets. They were down 2-1 going into the 4th set, and then they won the 4th set and won the 5th set. And that was
a fun game.
It was so much fun.
I saw a little bit of the beginning, and I saw the end of the first set, beginning of the second set. Lost the first set. We eventually won the second set, which is great. Came back, saw them win the fourth set. That was insane. That was awesome.
It was.
But the fifth set.
Oh man, the fifth set was crazy. I think we're gonna show a couple highlights from that fifth set because there were some pretty cool moments. I'm gonna show you this first highlight they both came in the fifth set. Yes. This was our first point of the set.
I remember this play. I was like standing at the entrance of the gym. Right, I had a friend visiting, so I was standing there with him, and we were watching this. Oh my goodness, this was like
it was
jaw-dropping
crazy.
moment.
Sailor Gregory comes from the middle, and she gets a pass, and she hits the volleyball so hard that it hits the defensive specialist in the face, and we get the points. Let's watch that again. Like
that's just. There's the set,
like look at
the hit,
boom! Like she hit it so hard, and she couldn't even get her hands up.
It's so cool if you look at the clip. Play it one more time. If you look at the clip. Watch Sayla after the
best part right there. It hits the ball and she head nods.
She's like, "What? Okay."
So that was crazy. That was our first point of the fifth set, and then I want to show you this next clip. Show all of you this next clip. This was
show me, Matt. Show me.
This was to tie it. So this was an 8 volley back and forth, and just watch upcoming here. So they hit it back over. We dig it. Brooke hits it over. And then, so right here it is. They attack it over. Lauren sticks her arm out, digs it. Jenica jumps over Lauren, and Caitlin free balls over, and we get a kill off of that.
Man.
That was after the ball had gone over.
That's
back
fun.
And forth 8 times.
That is fun volleyball right there. That's awesome.
That was so fun. I'm like, I was upstairs with Rachel, my wife, talking, and shout out, she played 1 year volleyball here.
Shout out to Rachel, Matt's wife.
But we were like, we've never had a team, at least in the 9 years that we've been a part of Emmaus Athletics, that could have done that.
That's the thing is like, I think the fact that they were able to go to the fifth set, have the confidence, and then finish the game.
Every girl on this team has never been to a fifth set.
I know. And here's the thing. You know what you've been preaching since the beginning is this team needs to learn how to win.
And they did.
They did this game.
And that was so exciting.
It was awesome.
And then they played Moody afterwards because we had Moody there as well.
Every team had a doubleheader.
So Moody played Spurgeon in between us, and then we played Moody after that. And we ended up winning that game 3-1. First set, they won like 25-5. But then they hit a little banana peel after that because I know they were just mentally and physically just exhausted from that 5-set crazy game against Spurgeon. So they ended up losing a set to Moody, unfortunately. But they came back and won, so that was really encouraging. And then so they'll play Spurgeon again next week and then Moody again in 2 weeks. And so that was just super exciting with that. In that second game against Moody, Caitlin finished with 18 kills, which is the most for an Emmaus volleyball girl since 2019.
It's great.
When Paulina had 20 in a 3-set.
I like Paulina. Match. Paulina's a good girl. She's a good person.
So that was, it was so exciting to get a home win, and just like these girls, man, it's
exciting.
They are doing something special.
And then Wes.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna, highlight all the athletic teams this fall and how we look at the men's team, soccer, and how what we just said before, how they really proved where we stand with the top level. The volleyball team learning how to win, but also becoming a scary team.
Well, like we said in the first or second podcast, like how every fall sport, the floor has been raised. And it's showing.
Yeah.
It's showing.
Yeah. And then just to highlight cross country too, which we will get to, of what they did this last weekend. Was it the Fighting Bee. And that was a great show for a lot of them. But all in all, it just looks really good for these young core teams.
And especially for volleyball, like I said last podcast, last year and really last 2 years, like the statistics weren't really there. But like this week, we have 5 girls in 6 different categories of the top 10. There's they keep track of 8 statistical categories, and we have girls in 6 of them. So Michelle is 9th in the nation in assists per set with 5.75. Sayla's down to number 4 in blocks per set. She's at about 1.13, which that'll definitely go up. Caitlin jumped up to 10th in the nation in kills per set with 3. And then Jenica is 7th in digs, also 5.75. And she jumped up to top 10. I think she's 8th in aces per set. So it's like she's averaging like 0.7 aces per set. So every 3 sets she gets 2 aces, which is really cool. So
it's a lot of numbers, Matt.
Yeah, a lot of numbers.
I didn't really...
Shout out Coach Iverson, our math teacher, and Miss Bingham.
That's your dad, man.
And then my dad.
Dad's a math guy.
He was the math guy.
I'm not going to lie. Those numbers went over my head, but I know they're good. I know those numbers are good.
So that was the excitement for volleyball this week. And then looking at cross country, like we talked about last week, it was the Fighting Bee Invitational down in St. Ambrose, where they had...
Which they did great last year. The hill. They did great at this invitation last year.
And this one was crazy because this race... for the girls was it was us and then 6 other colleges, universities that were NAIA. And again, for those that don't know, NAIA institutions give athletic scholarships to their athletes. So our runners who are not on athletic scholarship, because we don't do athletic scholarships, we're running against all athletic scholarships. And my pick to cook last week was Kate Jansen, and boy did she show out this week. She finished 13th in the race. 13th
out of
it was like,
what were the type of schools that she was racing against?
An all NAIA field. So 2 levels above us basically.
That's really awesome.
And she finished 13th.
Like
she PR'd at 21:43, so she broke her PR, and she won NCCAA Cross Country Runner of the Week for the girls.
Yeah.
Which was super exciting. And then going to the boys, to the guys, Christian Vanderkraal, who this was his first race of the year because they ran a 5K last week.
Which didn't count. It was
which
just
didn't
like a
count.
warm-up.
But this was his first time he ever ran an 8K
How did he
competition. And he ran 33:36, qualified for the national race, and he also won NCCAA Men's Runner of the Week. So we had 2 NCCAA Runners of the Week.
Cross country, yeah.
Coach Girardi and Coach Girardi are killing it.
They just keep doing their thing.
They do.
And it's awesome, and I love it. And I was talking to some of them afterwards. They said the hill this time just seemed worse than last time.
Oh, man.
They always seem like they're more prepared each, I guess, last year and then this year than the previous, but just a killer. You know, they would warm up on the hills in the back, but Dubuque's a great place to warm up on hills. There's hills everywhere. Have you ever been to Dubuque?
Is there a flat spot in Dubuque?
No, not really. I mean, it's weird. But I was talking to them. So a lot of them honestly I feel like most of the ones I talked to all said that they felt like they had a really poor showing, which does not show with especially Christian and Kate and Anna. So it's kind of crazy that they were like, yeah, we can do better. But I mean, Kate and Christian killed it, and it was fantastic. I know Caleb Ness was not happy with his performance. He was injured, sadly, a little bit. Nothing serious, but tweaked his knee a little bit. But I think everything is good and moving.
It's gonna be
forward.
tough because this is the first time because they have a race next week. This is the first time they've had 3 races in as many weeks.
Oh, this is gonna be tough. But I know Caleb is encouraged. He's happy for his teammate Christian, but he's also like, I can't let that freshman beat me. You kidding me? But
how good for Christian? That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome for Christian. I'm looking forward to see how Caleb responds. You know, iron sharpens iron, baby. That's what we want, right? You know that. You're a Swiftie. So,
whatever.
Sorry. You don't like that. Oh, you're going to hit me after this. But moving on, though, a lot of great things going on this last weekend with Emmaus Sports, with cross country, with volleyball and soccer, and I just want to talk about it more. I want to talk about volleyball. I want to talk about cross country more and soccer too.
That's why we have the podcast.
I know, man. I think we should have 2 shows a week. Let us know if we should have 2 shows a week. Also, shout out to the Fesslers. they're having like a family showing. They like all sit down and watch. They're texting me the other night and telling me that their whole like they got their family together in the living room. They're all watching our podcast. That's like it's a movie. It's kind of like it's a long TV show commitment.
Family movie night.
Yeah.
Family in the Nest podcast.
Exactly,
night.
in the Nest, right? So shout out to the Festlers. All you, Marielle and Andy, we love you guys. Love you, Landon, soon to be Festler maybe. He's a Jacobus. Moving on though.
Looking ahead to next week. So this upcoming week.
So who are the men's soccer team?
Yes.
Playing?
So our men's soccer team plays Manhattan on Friday.
It's gonna be a tough matchup. PM.
So that's
big rivalry game.
Honestly, this game is going to set the tempo for conference.
Yes,
this will be our first conference game of the year. We
don't know how we really stand within our conference for soccer. Volleyball too, honestly, we've only had 2 conference matchups for volleyball. So this is a conference weekend for both teams.
Yep.
So looking forward to it. And I guess volleyball's playing.
So volleyball, they actually have 3 games this weekend.
That's right.
So they play Ozark on Friday at 5, and then they have another doubleheader at Calvary. They play Calvary at 11, and they play Spurgeon again, who they just beat in 5 sets at 1 p.m. So that's going to be
tough.
And then they have these next 2 weeks they have 3 games in 2 days, and so it's going to show a lot of.
And Calvary's ranked
5th in the nation for volleyball. So
Ozark's not, but they're hosting the tournament this year.
They are hosting the tournament this year, so we'll see how that goes. And then cross country, they're doing a new race this year up in Northfield, Minnesota at St. Olaf College. It's going to be the St. Olaf Invitational.
Olaf.
Mm-hmm. So that's what they're doing this week.
Man, so it's a conference weekend ish, especially for volleyball and soccer. Not really conference for
I think this cross country race is this is the big one.
Cross country?
I think this is where there's going to be
a lot of
200 runners or something like that.
Really? For within our NCAA?
No, just a bunch of colleges out there, like D3s.
So this is going to really show where we stand against some of the best
community
teams.
Colleges, JUCOs.
So, honestly, this is a great weekend for sports to keep up updated with. So watch our social media, find out where their live streams are and updates for cross country, because this is going to be the weekend after. Come Sunday, we're going to find out where how good our cross country team is.
Mm-hmm. And all these are on the road, so
competing against top level athletes. It's going to be a couple great matchups for volleyball. Going against Calvary, one of the best teams in the nation according to the coaches poll, and then also.
Which we all know how sometimes the coaches poll is, but still though, the fact that they're up there.
Exactly. Like I honestly, talking to the coaches, they don't know. They don't know how good Calvary is this year. It's like you see stuff on the box score, or you hear stuff. It's like you really don't know until you play them, and we don't know how our team's going to match up with them with this whole new team.
Yes.
So interesting game for the volleyball team against Calvary.
Should be a fun game.
It's going to be fun with Ozark, seeing where we stand with them as well, and then another rematch with Spurgeon. That's going to be super fun. I wonder if that will go back to the set.
Revenge game for them. So.
Oh yeah.
But we'll be ready
because I know you already know Spurgeon feels like they should have won that.
Yeah.
So we know that for a fact actually. So
we do.
It's gonna be fun to see how we respond to that, and if we honestly find a corner and let them beat us, or if we fight back. And then with soccer, I can't wait to see where we stand against
because Manhattan is the reigning conference champions.
Yes. And Manhattan, like I said a couple podcasts before, they have a lot of confidence in their team this year with how they're scheduling their matchups going up against some of the biggest schools. So their record is nothing to look out for because
they're playing top 10 teams in the nation. I mean, they played number 1 and number 4 and I think number 3.
Yeah. So what's their record at? Do you know? It's not good. I know that.
It's 1-4.
Okay. See,
but all their losses are against
top schools.
And
that's what I'm trying to get at. The point I'm making is can't take their record for how good their team is. So Manhattan has always been the best team in our conference.
For pretty much
they've been the most consistent best team. Every team has had their season. Manhattan has had their decades. So it's always great to see Manhattan go down from anybody in the conference, honestly. So looking to see, I'm excited to see where we stand. Like
right now, our volleyball girls are the only team in the conference that's taken a set off of their volleyball girls.
See? Oh, so, really? Yeah. So that's right there. That's super awesome. So I wonder where we stand. I mean, Crown was like the next level. Yeah, I got a lot to say, but looking forward to those matchups for sure. So we have a new little segment this week. We're not doing pick to click anymore. We just want to like let you guys know who these players are that we're talking about, who the players that we are rooting for, every single player that we can talk about on these teams.
Kind of a little introduction, reintroduction.
The volleyball team if you follow our social media, the volleyball team has had some posts that show that highlight their players on their team. You know, kind of shows like their major, their favorite color, who they're dating,
their favorite Bible verse, a fun fact.
I'm joking, Will. But with that said, it's like like their favorite Bible verse. So that's kind of what we want to get with. It's not going to be as cute as their posts, and we're not going to
guys. So
look, nothing's cute here.
Nope.
There's a guy that sets this up. So if you don't like our background,
His name's Will.
Yeah, Will Cunningham. He's the guy to talk to. So
yeah.
With that said, though, who is our what do we want to highlight player? Yeah.
Who's our player introduction, Shane? Who are we going to talk about this week? Who would you like to introduce to our fans out there?
So we're going to talk about a player, and his name is Josiah Miller of the. No drum roll. Yeah. So Josiah Miller, he is a freshman soccer player on the Emmaus soccer team. He came from Tri-State Christian, played there, and then he was
while he was homeschooled.
Originally from Dubuque, Iowa, attends Anchor Community Church.
Where his dad is an elder there.
I was his youth group leader for a couple of years. We thought this would be Josiah would be a fun person to talk about since we both know him pretty well. And honestly, he was kind of
it's crazy because I remember when I came to Emmaus as a freshman 9 years ago. I remember meeting Josiah when he was 10 and just seeing
I love those
that 10-year-old then to being a freshman here at Emmaus, like, yes, I'm old, but it's just so cool to see that.
That is awesome. And I love that because I hear so many stories of like babysitting stories when it comes to Josiah Miller and his younger brothers. Fiona Jennings in the kitchen has like babysat them, and so has a lot of the other staff members. So I know it's really cool for that's one of the cool aspects of being here at Emmaus is seeing these kids that you've known for a while and seeing them come through the halls as students eventually, and it's really cool. So Josiah is a great guy, great character, super involved in the church, loves the Lord. He is a great at playing the guitar, super skilled at guitar.
He's done a couple traveling circuits, with some other people's or guys from the assemblies, and they've gone and they've gone south all the way to Texas. Stopping by a bunch of churches, in Nebraska, Kansas, and then they went east this last summer on just like they called it like a little tour, like a worship tour, and they just kind of go to the assemblies and play music and worship the Lord and get connected with the youth guys at those churches, and they'd have worship sessions in public as well as at the church and use it as evangelistic tools. So Josiah's gotten out. He just got back from Costa Rica this summer, going with the youth group, serving the Lord there. Did some evangelism and some labor projects, but and he's in our aviation program. First in the aviation program here at Emmaus. Which we're excited about the 3+2 program with aviation. So he's gonna have fun with that for sure and use that. I know I've talked to him a little bit about how he wants to use that, and he's still not sure, but the opportunity of being able to use that to advance the gospel is something that he's definitely looking forward to, either if that's in the mission field or if that's just using it as a mission field, working for other corporate airlines, and which is how we want people here at Emmaus, and what we tell them. I like to tell people is you use your specific degree anywhere as an avenue to use your Bible degree. Because like you think of, I'm a missionary. That's the only way to be in missions. No, you're in missions, whether you're in ministry or in your professional area of work. Like anywhere you go, you are in missions. Emmaus was founded from missionaries back in the 1940s, and we're still making missionaries today. Praise Jesus.
It's a mission school, and every student that we hand a diploma to, we want to carry on that mission.
Whether it's in ministry as a missionary overseas or in your professional degree, like being a missionary at the bank or in IT or whatever it may be.
The name of our school is founded on, honestly, a lot of the Great Commission of things concerning Jesus and us walking with him and taking what we learned here while walking with him and continue to walk with him outside of Emmaus, where God has placed you. And if it's a secular environment, mission environment, wherever, to use that degree so that you can teach other people about things concerning Jesus, fulfilling the Great Commission. So shout out to Josiah Miller. We love him. I love him so much. I haven't seen him for a while. I just saw him before us recording this, but he's an awesome guy. So we're hoping to do that every week, just highlight a new member, get to know them before and after, and for you guys to know who we're talking about, who we're rooting for, who we are encouraging, and who's on the sidelines and playing. So with that said, we do have an Eagle Impact Performer of the Week.
Yes, real quickly before we wrap up, our Eagle Impact Player of the Week is Christian Anderson.
These are my drums.
So Christian, like you said, another 2 goals in this game. I mean, he keeps us in games.
And honestly, you would look at the team this year for the soccer team, and you would you ask yourself, is Christian going to play before the season? You're going to ask, is Christian going to play as well as he did last year? Right? Yeah, he was a freshman last year. Of course, he's going to step up, but he ended the season hurt.
What level? Yeah,
he ended the season hurt, and already our top goal scorer last year isn't playing. So maybe for some of you that might be like, oh, well, of course Christian's going to score more, but the attention that went to already is now going to go to Christian, because honestly, they were both extreme threats for our team last year, going up against any team.
And boy, has he answered that call.
And he has
6 goals in 3 games. So Christian, you are our Eagle Impact Player of the Week.
So shout out to Christian. Great job. Other than that, that's pretty much all we got for you guys for this show. Another coffee bean drink. Do you got one? No?
I'm probably going to do coffee bean after this.
You are? Okay. Yeah. I actually asked what their most popular drink is, and they said a shaken espresso.
A shaken espresso.
That's what they think. It's a new drink that they've had for, I think, over a year.
It's the one, it's on the right side of their chalkboard.
Yeah, so a shaken espresso. A lot of people get cold foam and mix like flavorings in their cold foam. I don't know any of these words mean, honestly. So, but I guess if you're at the
for an interpretation,
maybe. Well, she doesn't even drink coffee. So, with that said, though, if you're in the coffee bean area and you like coffee, try the shaken espresso.
Well, especially if you come for a night game, the coffee bean will be open.
Or
so ask someone working the desk area at the game if they could take you over to the coffee bean and get some coffee.
Or Discovery Emmaus Weekend, which is coming up October 5th through the 7th, which you guys should all come to, where it's going to be a fun time for you to get here on campus, go to events, go to the classes, chapel, meet the students, have free food, or ish free food. But
even if it's not you that wants to come, tell it to your friends, tell your cousins, tell your younger siblings, tell your kids if you're a parent watching this.
Tell your dog.
To come for a great time to experience Emmaus and be a part of the Emmaus community.
You came to do and you loved it.
I did. I'm still here.
Boom. So
I came to do in March of 2014 and still here. So praise the Lord. So
I mean, even if it's just a weekend to get away, to be encouraged, come. It's a great time to get away, honestly. So, but great show. Discovery Emmaus Weekend. Sign up on our webpage. Keep in contact with our athletic social medias on Instagram, on X. X, is that what they call it? I don't know anymore.
It's X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah. So
keep an eye out for all the upcoming games, and love to see you there, especially now we're on the road, especially this week in Kansas. So
nuts. Yeah. So if you're interested in coming to Emmaus, you got questions, visit our website at emmaus.edu. If you
text me, text Shane, call us.
If you're an athlete, go to our Recruit Me page on the athletic website. But or if you know someone, guide them there. So other than that, great episode, Matt. I love talking to you. I can't wait to talk to you more
after this.
It's not like
the office.
I see you all the time. So, but thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.